Louise is breaking everything, everyone.
Yeah, I'm breaking things, I'm singing things. I say so. Hi, good evening, and welcome to the IBD Ostomy Support Show. I'm Louise, aka Friends Fighting. Tonight we are going to be covering skin issues with IBD and skin issues that some of us get post-op whilst in hospital and after having a stoma as well. So what have I been up to? Well, I've had a gigantic abscess underneath my wisdom tooth for the last 2 weeks. I still can't eat properly, so I've got weight dropping off of me like video. I've been busy with work. I've been busy with life. I'll be perfectly honest, most of this afternoon I actually spent in bed asleep. Whoops the daisy. Sadly, Rachel's not with us this evening, but Rachel really does need her rest. She's had sepsis. She's not long been out of hospital. So if you are messaging her, she will reply when she feels better, but she needs to take some time out.
If you're messaging her, it's going straight to me. So.
Yeah, you've been warned. Natalie, I don't know where Nat is at the moment, so she might drop in, she might not. What else? Oh, a few shout outs. Jamie is recovering from his Barbie butt surgery, so if he's watching in hospital,
Ken Butt, he's a guy.
Or say
yeah,
Ken Butt.
absolutely. Well done, Steph.
I hope you're recovering well. Graham is in hospital tonight and he's having his procedure done tomorrow. We send out much love to Rachel because she's probably watching, even though she's not on. So we say we love you. And Dan Bevan he's had his Ken butt surgery done today as well. So a little shout out for that one.
There's a lot going around, isn't there?
There's a lot of people going in surgery at the moment. Oh, and Amy College, she's still recovering from hers as well at the moment, isn't she? But she's doing quite well. She's
her
saying
figure is amazing.
She wants sex. It's what she's been saying on Instagram and Facebook, bless her. So yeah. Trying to think, is there anything else? No, nothing else from my end to report. I will pass you over to Steffi.
Hi, I'm Steffi at IBD Ostomy. I've been working. I have my second and final pre-commitment for my DBT tomorrow, before the actual group therapy starts on the 3rd of July. I've been making some bears. I bet you all thought I froze then.
They're awesome, like them bears are.
I've been knitting some bears for our support group. The Hambleton Richmond Ostomy Support Group is based in North Allerton, which is in the Hambleton district of North Yorkshire. And we do seem to cater towards an older generation, but that's going to be changing soon when we need to sort out doing one on an evening. For the younger ones that aren't at work. And we tend to find that a lot of the older generation are not leaving the house or are not being very social because of anxiety or whatever. And we're hoping to raise enough money that we can either pay for an entire everyone's Christmas dinners at one of the local restaurants, or put a hefty discount on it. And so far I've raised £72 with Happy Flush donating 20, which was nice of them. So if you want to get one, they're currently £3 and £3.50 with a keyring. But yeah, you can have your stoma on either side, or like Rachel's, it's got 2. I can cater towards quite a few colours, but if you want something in very specific, you may have to pay a little bit extra for the fact that I'll have to go out and buy the wool. But most people
penguin.
have been okay with
Do
that.
you do them with Barbie butts or Ken butts?
You what?
Do you do them with Barbie butts or Ken butts?
Well, they don't have any butts, do they, Steve?
I know, that was a little joke. That was a little joke.
Well, that went over my head, that one.
Oh,
But Louise is getting little penguin ones. I'm attempting to make some penguins
I
for
want a
her
penguin,
on
God damn
Saturday.
it.
But yeah, it's been quite good for my mental health actually. It's quite monotonous but relaxing at the same time. I don't really have to focus on it. It's like since I came on with Louise like 20 minutes ago, I've already made limbs, got like legs and arms and ears. So but yeah, so I'll pass you on to Steve.
hi, I'm Steve. Hashtag Baghdaddy. Still suffering with my throat. I think the laryngitis is gone, but it's affecting my voice box, which a lot of people are happy about. So I can't shout anymore. Are you nodding?
I'm laughing, not nodding.
Yeah, missing Rachel. She's had what was a endoscope today. They found
Gastroscope,
is it a gastroscope?
gastroscope. Yeah.
Gastroscopy.
Right. Okay. They found inflammation in the gut. She's had biopsies, so she's going to be waiting on the results from that. What have I been doing? I've had my children the weekend. My middle son's 14th birthday, so
Does it
we've
make you
been
feel
to Pete.
old?
No, it makes me feel old when my oldest is 21 on the 26th of this month. That makes me feel old. I haven't really done that much, to be fair. I've been working and coming home and not much. I've been to the gym once this week, but I'm not working this weekend. My middle lad's doing a play at the Birmingham Rep, so I'll be going to that.
What play is that?
Um, it's
Or
called.
what character is he?
I'm not sure. He hasn't given me no details at all about it, which he never does. But I can't think what the title's called. You know, it's See Me. It's a school, like a school drama type thing.
All right, that'd be cool.
But he's done his thing. He's acting. You see, he comes alive when he's on the stage or when he's got a guitar in his hand. So that should be good
Oh,
fun. Yeah,
well, I hope it as well.
yeah. Thank you. So haven't really done that much, to be fair. Um, that's it. That's it, really. I can't think of anything else to say.
Oh.
I'm just glad that I rang Rachel last week and I was like, you know what it is, don't you? She's like, no, no. And I was like, you've got sepsis going. No, I've got my lifts ready if I need to. And then like 10 minutes later, I'm going in. I was like, yep, there you are.
Yeah, she said to me, because she sent me a picture of the thermometer, and I was like, well, you just listen to your body, woman.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
she's just worried sometimes that they think that she's faking it because she's sick so often. And when you do have a chronic illness, you do worry that people think, oh, here we are again. You know, what's wrong this time? But she's very lucky to have nurses that were showing her a chart going, you really are sick.
She's
Don't
really
worry
been
about one
poorly
day.
this time. I mean, I'm not saying that the other time she hasn't, because she has, but yeah, she's been very, very poorly. Her mum's staying with her at the moment, so
I know
that's
because
nice.
I got a lovely voice clip from Rachel and her mum last night because they were having my food, my recipes.
Yeah, she said she
So
cooked your recipe.
yeah, so it was quite nice to get. I had a little voice clip from both Rachel and Jill going, "We love your food." So it was nice to
Whereas
listen to.
Steffi just gets messages off of me with a load of profanities.
Yeah,
For those of
that's
you
true.
on the show, I don't swear as much as I do via message.
I mean, Natalie all week. No, the other day she literally got, "I want to die. I want to die. Why did I even start this?" I basically decided to take all of Jacob's clothes out of his and sort out the age groups and if you're a parent, you know that the best thing when you're pregnant or expecting is sorting out the nursery, getting everything nice and ready. When your kid's here, it's like it's hell on earth. sorting out all the clothes, and that's what Louise has just been doing
I
yesterday.
think my exact words were last night, I'm going to have a nervous breakdown. How is my daughter a size 6 in the petite range when she's
I
8?
have that with my clothes. I'm thinking, oh, I'll get into that next year. I'll get into that. I've hardly worn that.
It's not that, Steve. We bought matching sandals last night. I took her to get a couple of pairs of summer sandals because obviously last year's don't fit. She's gone up 2 sizes in the last year. She's gone from a size 3 to a size 5. I'm only a shoe size 6.
They keep growing.
It's mental. I was like last night. It's like every 4 months I have to revamp her wardrobe, and I'm like, do I cut her food off? Do I chop her legs off? Do I bind her feet? But she's 9 in September, and she's a size 6 because she's so tall. I think I had her measured. I think she's like 5'2".
Wow,
And
that's
I'm
big
like,
for 9, isn't it?
yeah, just a bit. It's not that. I'm going to need a stepladder to tell her off. See, I've been having dreams about buying safes that only let you in with like eye recognition to start hiding things like my makeup and my high heels, so she can't get them.
Yeah, it's no good putting them on a high shelf.
No, because she'll get them. So anyway, we went slightly off the track. So what we did, right? Okay, we're talking about skin issues. So those of us with IBD as a whole can suffer with bad skin. Now, with IBD infections, that can be anything from cellulitis. Is it pyoderma?
Yeah.
Yep. Psoriasis, eczema. Some of us get rashes, some of us get abscesses on the skin, or some of us just get like ingrown hair follicles that we have to wait to burst. But because of the way that we don't heal the same as other people, so we have to dress them with things like iodine seri strips and dressings until the holes close up. So I've got psoriasis on my hands. I also have psoriasis somewhere else, which I would not like to discuss live on air. But I have to use cream, so I have to use things like Mama Phosate, and I also use Cetraban for when it's really, really bad. But the problem is with steroid creams, you can't use it when the skin's open. So if the skin's cracked and sore, I mean, you know yourself, don't you, Steve, with your psoriasis?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my psoriasis was kind of like I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, and then probably a year down the line, I started getting blotchy legs and arms. It was always on my limbs, nothing around the trunk. I developed a rash around the eyes, almost like a butterfly, which they suggested that could be lupus. Sounds a bit of a worry, but it wasn't lupus because apparently that's how lupus presents itself. I had a different. I think I had a different cream. I think it was the this Protopic for my face, which worked to treat, but it wouldn't work on my legs and my arms, and I used a different one for that. Where I think this was this Bethnavate. I'm sure it's that one.
Yeah, the Bethnavate. Don't they also do that in a? Oh God. You know the asthma inhalers?
Isn't it? Oh, you're on about Beckinase.
Beckinase, that's the one.
That's more your antihistamine type like nasal spray. That is. But
I literally hear you say that Beckoners, and I literally hear Tiffin go with his potatoes and bacon.
Bacon is potatoes.
Yeah.
And the double base, which is like an all-over moisturizer cream. But you know what? I haven't suffered with psoriasis now for about 2 years. So I've got all this.
That double base stuff is really good. My dad uses it.
It's not like a liquid. It's like a gel.
And one's not too greasy either, is it? Because
not at all.
My Cetraban, I keep in this. But the reason being is it pretty much comes in a 2-litre bottle, and I'm not walking about with that on me. So what I do is when I'm out and about, I have like a little travel bottle that I've managed to squeeze some into, just because I use it to wash my hands because it's meant to stop the blisters from breaking out and cracking up.
So I use the double base as an after sun because it's just literally really soaks in well to your skin, especially if you know, mine got a bald head, got nothing to protect my skull, so I use that as an aftersun and it soaks in. So that works.
Did you know that if you're most steroid gels or creams, for instance, say apply a thin layer, did you know it's supposed to be one fingertip, and that will do like your face. Two fingertips will do like an arm or a leg. And I know that sounds stupid, but it like I've obviously just had to redo all my prescribed medication stuff, and like we've never, in all the care jobs and qualifications I've got, we've never gone into that much detail. But a thin layer is like up until your first knuckle, and that is just a strip is classed as a thin layer. Because I mean, I've always had really dry skin on my feet, like really hard, dry cracks.
I'm the same. I get foot packs, you know, the moisturising foot slippers to put on to help, but my feet just peel all the time.
I wonder if that's an IBD thing. Because
well, I think it might be like, but I mean, my mum has it, so I thought
me
it
and
was just
Rachel have it as well.
Because they thought at one GP, locum, whatever, trainee GP was like, oh, it's just moisturising. Like, I've had it since I was, because in between my toes all started to crack when I was pregnant, and I thought maybe it's just because I can't reach to dry my toe in between my toes.
I was bad when I was pregnant with Maisie. I was itching like anything.
It's carried on, and one doctor was like, oh, just moisturise. Another one was like, oh, it might be athlete's foot, but it only stays between my little toe and the one next to it. It doesn't spread, so that's
exactly the same with me. I'm constantly rubbing it on the carpet and getting between the quilts. It's a nightmare. There's no, you can't get rid of the itch.
Because they've just given me Cetraban for it. Cetraban, whatever. Cetraben.
Well,
it's Cetraban, and when it's flammable, mind you, I laugh and joke with you lot, don't I, about mine. Let's put on my steroid cream, let's put on my Cetraban, let's spark a fag. See if it really is that flammable.
And for instance, my brother used to suffer really badly with eczema, but nobody else in my family did. And then after my J-pouch surgery, I have a little spot that comes and goes behind on my calf at the top near my knee. I've got another one just under my bust, and that drives me fucking crazy because it hits, excuse me my language, I just swore, but it drives me absolutely balmy because your bra hits it, your top, like nothing, it's an itch like nothing you've ever experienced before. It's horrible. And then after my surgery, my stoma, I've got one right underneath where my base plate goes, and on a night that's when that goes, and I'm just like, it always sets off after I've changed my bag. It doesn't matter what. And that's why I can't wear the Coloplast stuff, because it sets the eczema off even worse. And I'm supposed to be on Fusidin H for that.
Oh, I've used that as well.
It's so greasy. It's not worth putting under the base plate, because otherwise I worry.
If they put you on, if they put you on the Fusiban, you might be better off asking for the Mama Visate, because they put me on the one beginning with the F, and it did touch the sides.
Well, for me, I remember talking to Jasmine about it, and she was supposed to have she forgot to send me the name of it. There's I'm presuming it's like chamomile lotion. You literally put it on and it dries off like talc. So it's but it's not classed as an ointment. I don't know, because my GP was one of the trainee ones, and she was like, well, we actually have to work our way up. She was like, I can't unfortunately just give you, even though it would make complete sense, because you have other things that we need to think about, like keeping your bag on.
Yeah.
But otherwise, the pharmacist will just turn around and go, why does this person even need this? Saying that though, the pharmacist that covers my area is fantastic.
There's quite a few on the chat though, IBD based, that do suffer with really bad skin. Now,
Well, it's autoimmune based. I mean, lupus is autoimmune
It
disease.
is, yeah,
And
absolutely.
if you have one autoimmune disease, you're more likely to suffer something that affects your skin.
I
Or, I mean, I get colds that last 3 to 6 weeks. Coughs, I can have them for months.
Yeah.
And it's just, I used to say to
It's,
Stephen, I have no immune system. And he's like, well, you've got to have something.
You see, I can
But
deal with it in most places. The only place that I can't deal with it is obviously I have it down in my lady garden, and it's not nice at all. Anybody that suffers, I feel your pain. Let's just put it that way. You know, like you know the advert with the bear where it's scratching its back up the tree, it's trying to find someone. Well, that's sort of the equivalent, but the other way around. just to turn that a little bit on the end to make you laugh.
paint a picture with words.
Oh, paint a picture
That's
with
what you
words. Yeah, it's good. But no, I think skin issues with IBD as a whole is rife. I don't think many report it because, unfortunately, sometimes the psoriasis side or the eczema side or the other one doesn't normally present. 9 times out of 10, it either presents at the beginning, then goes away when your flare's under control and it's all associated with IBD. And then it comes back when they put you on immunosuppressants, because all of mine has been since I've been back on the immunos.
Well, last year before last, I was asked to do to be a patient, to be a pretend patient for some year 3 medical students. And obviously I was on the gastro. There was like different sections. There's me and this other lady in this gastro room where the students would
for a
come in.
lady, are you a lady
Yeah.
now, Steve?
No, there was another lady.
A lady.
Okay.
There was a you and a lady.
Anyway, she got me back now. They, one of the they basically weren't allowed to lift your top up and have a look that you had a bag. They had to figure all this out for yourself, and with questions that they asked you. One of them was looking at your legs, looking at your arms. So that was a dead, as soon as they saw the blotches, they realised that that's autoimmune. They could kind of work their way back to what illness you were suffering with. Then after they'd kind of got to the bottom of it, they'd have a lift up your top. They'd feel around to see what operation you'd had. But one of the tests they did was they put their fingers together. You put your fingers together like that.
Mm.
Are you there?
Yeah, what can I say?
If there's a gap between your fingers, that's another thing with you put your nails together. If there's a gap, that's another thing to do with IBD.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you tell even though like for most of the year I wear false nails?
Well, I don't know if it would work with false nails.
Well, mine kind of raise up, and I have a gap.
Can you see a light through there?
Yeah,
I have that.
Now I'll have to look into this, and how I Google that, God only knows. I don't know what words to put in.
Is it related to IBD or just an autoimmune disease?
I can't exactly remember, but it was one or the other. But sitting in with these doctors, obviously between students, you get to chat to them and find out all the details. And it was really about bedside manner with the students and stuff.
Mm.
But really interesting. But the rashes on the legs and the arms that was definitely part of IBD. That was.
Oh God, cellulitis. I remember before my IBD diagnosis, I had cellulitis 3 times, and every time I went to the GP, he laughed his head off because I was only 18 and 19 at the time. And apparently,
remind us what cellulitis is.
Cellulitis is pretty much if your skin breaks and a bit of bacteria manages to get in there. What the cellulitis does is it makes your legs swell up, and then you have ulcers coming up from underneath to the skin. And the cellulitis, to some case, if you got what you don't know about me, is my legs at the back. I've had cellulitis in both legs. I had it severe in the left leg, not so severe in the right leg. And I've actually got muscle degeneration on the back of my leg. So the backs of my legs, my muscle on one side is full. The other side, not so much, but I'm not too much sure if it's the muscle or the fat that got eaten away by the cellulitis infection. But what it does is it burns as well. So it makes your skin go all pink. it makes it go red. At some point, you actually wish that somebody would cut your leg off because it's that painful. And it is literally just a massive, great big, massive blisters that come up from like the inner skin layers up to the top that burst. And
see, I think I honestly feel quite lucky in comparison, because obviously other than my feet, which I don't remember a time that they weren't like that, but then again, I've been sick a long time. And I am of the opinion you always have IBD because it's a genetic disease. It just, whether it presents itself or not. So just because it didn't present itself till I was like preteen doesn't mean that I didn't have it, you know, because I believe you do. It just doesn't always show. That's why some people get it later in life, some people don't. His baby's born with it now, you know, which is awful. But my issue is the joints. My joints have just been awful. So I think that unlike Steve, you know, because Steve's the blue patsy that's got both, you either generally get your bad joints or your bad skin. And I think I've got the bad joints, but you know, Steve's the anomaly and has both.
Yeah, but you know what? When I was suffering with my bowels and with my toileting, my joints were fine. It's kind of like someone was looking after me then. Because if I was I couldn't walk when my hip really set off. Sacroiliitis of the hip, it's called. And I couldn't walk. I literally, it'd take me 10 minutes to get down the stairs, and that'd be on my bottom. And
that would hurt.
If you imagine trying that and as well as really needing the toilet as well. I was lucky in the fact that they both took their turns. And the one was fine, the other one was active. But what I've noticed as well, I mean, I have Humira and methotrexate. Now I took them both for when I had colitis, when I was in flare with colitis, and they never touched it. And now I have them just for the arthritis, and fingers crossed, they're brilliant. You know, they've kept it in check, and my hips feel great. My knees feel clicky and that, but
I never took Humira. I took infliximab. I had one dose of that before it completely shut all my joints down. I remember my dad had to carry me up and down the stairs so I could go to the toilet. Put me in the bathtub fully clothed, so my mum would come up and undress me and put me in the bath and then run a bath, and he'd give me his phone so that I could ring him in the night so he could take me to the toilet. And with the methotrexate, I was an alcoholic at the time, so I don't remember much of it, other than the fact that I would purposely not go around on the day that I would have my methotrexate, so my ex's mum wouldn't do it for me.
You had the injections, didn't you?
Yeah.
I'm on the tablets. I've never tried the injections, but I've always got along with the pills, to be fair.
I never got the probably because I was always hungover, but I never got the methotrexate hangover. I didn't get any of that. But I also didn't take it properly. In fact, I don't think I've ever taken any of my medication properly. And I tell every single doctor that I am the worst patient when it comes to medication. I'm really bad at taking pain medication. I'm not one of these people that go, oh, I'm in so much pain, well, have you taken paracetamol? No, I don't want to take it. No, if I'm in agony, I will take something. But if it's just twinges and stuff, I'll just get on with it, because I'm one of the people that go, well, I've been in worse pain. And then like the worst pain hits because you haven't taken any pain.
Sorry, just to change the subject a minute. Ashley's just asked me on Instagram, because he can't comment on YouTube. I'm not too sure why. He's just asked us, each of us, what adhesive removers do we use? Well, I'm a Pelican girl. I use the Pelican Vitamin E mint one. If you just bear with me a second, Steph, do you have your supplies with you or near you? No. I'm just going to grab mine. I'll let Steve do.
For me, I just usually pull them off because the Iliomate bags have a really good stick but are really easy to peel off. But I'm allergic to the Coloplast products. I just use whatever the hell I've been given, and if I've got it to hand, I use it. If I don't, I don't. I prefer using the wipes.
I use that one, the Pelican release.
Is Stoma Wars. I'm a Brava boy.
Check you out.
I'll tell you what though, I've probably like you girls as well. I've used nearly every bag going. I think the only bag I haven't used was the ones with the clips. Now, right from day one, I think I came out of hospital with what's the one that begins with C? Not Coloplast.
Convatec.
Yes, Convatec. Yeah. I came out with Convatec, and that's all I knew about. And then I obviously started looking online and started ordering samples, going to meets, getting samples, and each one affected my skin. Each one. Now, my skin was changing. You know, all the glues, I'd either get a rash under my base plate or a rash and itchiness. And I trialed them for a couple of months until I decided, now it's just a bit, looks unsightly or it's really sore. And then right up until I found Pelican, which worked, I don't know, for 18 months. Then I had the same issue again. My skin went through some change where they were affecting me. And obviously I got my hernia, I was getting leaks. So therefore I tried again, you know, and then I went through all of them again with exactly the same issues until I finally found Coloplast, which worked a treat. And originally Coloplast was one of the ones that used to make me sore as well. So it's mad the way your skin changes all the time.
I started on the Adapt. That made my skin so dry and it made it crack. The one after that, I was using the Trio sprays for a while, and that did exactly the same thing with my skin. My skin got sore, it cracked, so I had to stop using them again. And touch wood, I've been using the Ostopil or the Pelican release stuff now for the last, about a year, I think. And I've not had any issues since. But it's weird, isn't it, how different things affect us? Because I think as a whole as well, I think what we struggle with more than anything else, especially with the IBD bracket on top of having the stoma bag, is the fact that most of us do have skin issues. It doesn't matter what way you look at it. Most of us, 9 times out of 10, some of us get eczema, some of us get psoriasis, some of us get rashes. There's different things that upset every single one of us.
That's tickled me. It sounded like something my lad said a few weeks back. He said, "Dad, I've got sweaty shoes." And I said, "You got sweaty shoes?" He said, "No, I've got sweat issues."
Oh.
He's only little.
Oh, bless him.
See, but, I mean, I prefer the wipes to the sprays. The only Coloplast products I can use are the adhesive removal wipes and the Ostomy powder. Anything else just screws me over. But to be honest, I don't really use them, and if I do, it's more because I've got them to hand. But it's like the Pelican bag, really, because it's quite a soft base plate. You don't need to use one. You can just gently peel it off. I mean, let's face it, the Pelican bags, as nice as they are, because I do like their high output bags if I'm poorly, the petals lift up. And it's like, oh, for God's sake, you're pushing it down and pushing it down. But I just think the wipes are better. They're more environmentally friendly. They're cost effective. They take up less space. They take up less space and everything.
I ordered the Brava, but I've got like samples of the different coloured ones with the flavour.
Yeah, the Ostomy.
Yeah, I've got them in the drawer, and obviously once my Brava have run out, I'll use whatever's there. When I go abroad, I'll take the wipes, because obviously it's another liquid less in your little sealer bag.
Look, I'll let you guys in on a little tip here. going through the airport, I always go, 9 times out of 10, wherever I'm going, I go with Ryanair. I don't go to the doctors and get a slip. I don't get anything about my ostomy supplies. I'm open and honest. And you know those little plastic bags? I managed to get through security, both sides of the fence, with like 3 bags full of stuff.
Wow.
Well, you can do, because it's classed as medical supplies, and you can tell that it's medical supplies. So, because when I came back from France, they had armed guards, military with assault rifles walking around, and it was a bit like, oh my God, completely ignoring all these people going into the bins and doing drop-offs and pickups and stuff, you know, dodgy. But they were like, I'd forgotten to put some of my stuff into. I just have all my supplies in a bag anyway. It's just the way I like to do it. And I was like, she's like, do you have any creams or liquids? I was like, oh yeah, I do. And she's like, are they over 50 mils? I'm like, nah. And she's like, I don't care. Nobody will care. And I was like, nice one. I mean, they were clear.
I had a harder time getting into bloody Dreamland down in Margate the other week with my mum, with my stoma supplies, than I did getting in and out the country.
It's madness.
I always take my kit with me, because whenever I go out with my mother, something happens. I don't know what it is. It might be her driving. It just could be the fact that sitting in the car with her for hours just drives me insane and makes me sweat. But, you know, I always have issues with my bag whenever I'm out with my mum. So I always take my kit with me. Oh, my God, because I had a pair of curved scissors, they wouldn't let me in. And I was like, but look, I have a stoma. Oh, no, that's okay. But you need to go and talk to the security guard up there. And then once you've spoken to that security guard, you need to go and get a note from the desk. And I was like, for a pair of curved scissors that are blunt.
Just in case, you know, you go rogue and end up wanting to cut people's hair on the plane. You know what I mean?
What?
I always get searched.
Down at Margate, I'll be sitting in the roller coaster.
Margate's a seaside, isn't it?
Yeah,
Margate's a fun fair or something.
Yeah, it's literally a fun fair. What am I going to do? Sit on the roller coaster and chop some kids' plats off? I'm sitting in front of me. Come off it.
I always get searched. I do always. Must have just got one of those faces, I'm afraid.
I was hoping I was going to get searched when I went, just so I could write about it, and it never happened.
I've done that, Steph. I do in supermarkets. I do. I'll buy one item and I walk around with it really close to my pocket, knowing that I've got a lump under my stomach where my hernia is, thinking there's one security guard just one day he's going to say, "We believe you've stolen something. Come on into the back room." Obviously, I'm going to refuse search. I'm going to wait till the police come and the helicopters and the news at 10 and get some free shopping.
Oh, it just makes me laugh that how I can get in and out the country and I don't bat an eyelid. Yeah, I'm taking my daughter to the fun fair for the day, and I'm literally getting torn a new one over a pair of scissors that aren't even listed on the sharps list. I can understand if I walked in with a 9-inch kitchen knife.
Well, I was sending the stuff from when we went to Pelican to Natalie, which really I should have let Nicola from Pelican just do it like she offered. But I had a load of crap that I wanted to send Natalie anyway. And when I went to the post office with this big box, I had, just some random crap that I was giving her anyway, like books and stationery and stuff to do with flamingos, because Natalie likes flamingos. And so there's stoma stuff. So there was like some of the Ostopeel and the Ostomist and stuff. And they were like, "Is there any aerosols?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, what do you mean? And I was like, well, the pump action stuff, I was like, except obviously the Ostopeel, but I was like, they just get sent to people in the post anyway by these companies. And I was like, it shouldn't hurt anybody because it's a medical supply. And she was like, and the woman just went, "What do you mean medical supply?" I'm like, "Well, it's for stomas." And she looked at me and looked really confused and went, "Okay." And just let me send it. I was like,
that reminds me, next time I post one, you guys say, I'm going to stick a flammable on my do it on the self-service. The amount of times we send each other bloody jiffy bags. Oh dear. I mean, like skincare routines. I mean, like post-op, did either of you suffer with really bad skin, like post-op coming out of hospital?
No.
No, not when I first come out. No, I just had this massive shave mark down my chest at an angle, like I'd been driven over by a tractor. That was it, pretty much it, really.
What about you, Steffi?
No.
Maybe
No,
my
not at all.
skin. Maybe my skin just doesn't like things. Then my skin does not like being in hospital. I don't know whether it's the water or whether it's the showering or whether it's just the way my body purges after surgery. But my skin goes awful for months.
Does it?
When I spend most of my time in hospital running around the hospital off the ward. So, no, I spend more time off the ward than I do on the ward.
I'm not allowed to. Apparently, I'm a flight risk. They track me.
I can't be a flight risk because my dad is security at the hospital. So if I go missing, they literally just bleep him or one of his colleagues and they just go looking for me. On a night, they'll be like, "Where are you going?" And I'll just be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go talk to the security guard."
I tell you what it is with me. You know the warfarin injections. I always tend to disappear at the time that I know the warfarin injections are coming round, because I bruise like anything, and they're horrible going into your leg or the top of your arm. It stings like anything. It's not nice. I don't like having it done. I'm pretty mobile. I'm not exactly a blood clot risk, but they still give it to you anyway. And I do. I know what time they come round to do it. I track after like the first 2 days. So every time they come round to tell me I've got to have my injection, I disappear for an hour off the ward. And then the night matron comes back and makes me do it anyway before sleep.
Well, before my just after my stoma surgery, my mum still worked at the Friarage as well, and she used to work nights on the switchboard, which is at the main entrance. And I used to just her or a couple of her like colleagues. There was only one or two I'd do this with. I'd literally just say to the nurses station, "Right, I'm going down to the switchboard. Ring me if you need me." And I remember one time I was about 18. One of the nurses was like, "You're not doing it," and one of the like sisters just turned around and went, "I'll ring you at 8 o'clock then, shall I, for your meds?" And because they just knew my mum was there, they knew that I wasn't going anywhere because I was too sick to really leave the hospital grounds. But so I think, but I do think if you don't drink enough, or the times that you're on fluids, that's when your skin gets affected, because when you're on fluids, your body bloats and your skin goes all puffy and you feel like a giant marshmallow. It's horrible.
I mean, do you guys suffer different from the winter to the summer? Does your skin suffer with the change of seasons with your stoma?
I think mine gets worse in the winter. It's less exposed to the oxygen, isn't it?
Only my face and my lips I suffer with, or my hands crack. But then again, I always work in jobs that I have to wash my hands a lot because I work in care. But I just put it down. It's always been like that, not just because of my stoma. I mean, so it's probably just IBD related.
But do you find as well, though, that you get aggravated by like different body washes or moisturizers or stuff that you wouldn't normally use, and you try it and your skin goes all up shit?
No.
Just really the simple stuff, the stuff that's supposed to be the best for you. It really affects me.
Yeah, but me and Rachel are simple girls, aren't we?
I could use a body wash from the pound shop and it's going to win over the simple stuff. It's just mad.
That's madness, considering that all the stuff in Simple is natural.
I know, yeah. But it really affects me.
Do you know, it might be because it's got the vitamin E in it. You might be allergic to the vitamin E.
It could be, yeah, you never know.
Funnily enough, it's the main downside, which is also supposed to be the biggest positive for the new Pelican bags. I'm allergic to the vitamin E in the base plates. It makes my skin really hot and itchy, and it's devastating because you think it's the most random thing to be allergic to. To me, it's like, why? That's just stupid because the bags are great. They just don't like me. You know,
I think that's a really random thing though. I think each of us are different, different chemical skins, different body changes, different skin types. Because I mean, with me, I find in the summer my skin's not too bad, but I think because I wear a lot of sun cream because I'm on immunosuppressants and I stick it on before I go out. I think the sun cream helps with moisture. That, and I also have a moisturising regime that I do after I've had a shower and stuff. But in the winter, I'm awful. It doesn't matter what I use. My skin just goes to hell.
When I get a cold, my nose cracks entirely, and then it'll go dry and scaly. And I used to feel like, I don't know, reptile or something. So it just go horrible. It was awful.
Steffi, have you found that, like, us using, you know, like the little Vaseline pots, have you found in the winter trying to use that on your lips to help with the crack? It actually makes it worse.
It stings, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm prone to the cold sore. I get like one every year, once a year, which is not a massive amount, but it's always in the same place.
Are you sure? Are you sure it's not cheilitis? Because people with IBD, specifically colitis, can suffer angular cuts along the lips, in the corners of the lips, and it's called cheilitis, angular cheilitis, and it's not a cold sore, but it's something similar.
Oh, that would make sense, you know, because it is always in the same corner.
Yeah, and like if you put anything on it, like I mean, other than Blistex, because we agreed with Blistex, didn't we, last year, Louise?
Yeah.
But, like, if you put like lip balm or anything, it makes it worse.
You just have to wait for it to go because it'll crust up. Then as soon as you open your mouth again, it splits again. So
Steve,
you can't win with it.
Honestly, the best ones to help you with that would either be the Blistex or is it Carmella? Is the other one? Carmella are the only ones that'll work. I know. The reason being is ever since my Crohn's diagnosis, I get cold sores all the time. But I don't just get one. When I get one, I have another one crop up. Once one starts to heal, I get another one. It just happens when I'm in flare. But the other thing that I do suffer from at the moment, you know, I've had bad eyes. My eye right in the corner keeps splitting. I have a scab in the corner of my eye at the moment, and it's driving me mental because I can't pick it. Because if I pick it, the eye splits again.
Okay. What was that called? That we did with the lips?
Angular cheilitis.
Angular cheilitis.
CHILITUS, I believe.
Oh, right,
I may be wrong, but that's how I would spell it. Google always works it out.
I just assumed it was a cold sore.
I went to the doctors about it, and they bloody gave me herpes cream, and I was like, "What the f is this?" I was like,
"Oh dear."
What group was I in the other day? And somebody had actually put up something about it curing herpes, and I was like, "Herpes isn't curable." And I was like, "Oh my good God!"
Because I think she genuinely just thought I had a cold sore, which is a form of herpes. And angular cheilitis isn't that.
It's a horrible word, isn't it?
What, herpes?
Yeah. It's a vile word. It's one of those words that you don't want to say too often, otherwise you might get it.
Well, I rang up pharmacare. I was like, "What the hell's this?" I was like, "What the hell is this?" It's like I wouldn't care, but I thought it was like a steroid cream before I actually read it. So I started putting it in like my handbag, my bathroom cabinet, because they sent me like 6 tubes. And then I read it, I'm like, bin, this is not happening. Nope.
Do you know another thing that is good for herpes? It's chamomile lotion.
Oh, because it's just an infection, isn't it? And that's what you use that on chickenpox.
Well, think those of us that moan about getting it around their mouths. Imagine it in the other place. I think my pain goes out to that person, and I feel ever so sorry for them.
Funny.
I'm not laughing.
So rude, Louise.
I'm not laughing if somebody ended up with genital herpes. I do apologise. However, you can't use one of those Blistex plasters on one of them, can you?
Oh dear.
I'm going to hell.
With a handy spatula device. Oh dear me.
No. Anyway, back to skin.
This skin was talking about skin.
I literally, I just use whatever the hell is cheapest.
Virus.
I do like the Superdrug's own moisturizers. I quite like them. And they're doing handy age bracket ones, so it makes me feel like it's an anti-wrinkle cream, even though it's not. But not that I have many wrinkles, but I have plenty of greys. Bloody kids. But you know, David never suffer that because he's ginger.
Now you go white. I can't wait till my beard is fully white. You know.
I'm pleased to say I'm 33 soon. I still don't have a grey hair. Yay!
That you can see. That you can see.
There's loads on the back, Louise. Just saying.
Oh no, there's not. I have my hairdresser checked religiously. Trust me. But no, I think. Well, back to the skin issues with IBD as a whole.
Well, actually, just before you pop back onto that, while we're still talking about greys, when I did the photo shoot for Jasmine, the girls and I were saying we were thinking that in consensus that if you have colitis, you're more likely to get grey hairs early than you are if you have Crohn's. So that's quite. I think that's something that I think we should do maybe a poll on, because there was 4 of us there. One had Crohn's, the other, and I was the eldest out of the colitis, and there was a 21-year-old, maybe I think she's maybe around 21, 22, grey hair. So it's like, I think it's a colitis thing to get grey hair early.
I don't know. My mum's got loads, and we share it even. Well, the boys get a 40-40, and I get 20. But yeah, I think skin issues, because what people don't realise is certain things change the way that your skin reacts. So for female ostomates, the time of the month, so leading up to your period, that changes the chemical reaction in your skin. So that could be why that you have more issues at that time of the month, why your bags leak, why they don't stick. It's purely because of the hormones running through your system. It's the same with like babies versus teenagers. Some babies, the bags won't stick because of the way the skin is and the hormonal changes. It's the same going through your teenagers. It's also the same for cancer patients. So those that might have an ostomy at the time and they're going for chemotherapy or they're going for radiotherapy, that also changes the makeup with the skin, which is why everybody has different issues at different times. Bags not sticking or not being able to use certain products.
Your perfect bag may change every couple of years. I mean, when I came out of hospital, Danzac Novalife was a godsend. And then it was a godsend again when I was pregnant. But for about 3-4 months, I was able to wear the Coloplast sensory mirrors, and they were fine. And then all of a sudden, my skin kicked up. And then I went back to the Danzac, and then all of a sudden, they started to make my skin really irritated. So now I'm using the Peak Medical bags, and they're fine. But it's like, how do I know that my skin isn't going to suddenly change the makeup and ruin that bag for me?
Sorry, I do apologise, Graham. I didn't mean to laugh, but Graham has just messaged me and he's just said to me, does that mean Crohn's makes you go bald? Because I have.
Well,
Steve has colitis.
Honestly, Graham, G-Man, I can't tell you that one because I still have a full head of hair. But that's another one. How many of us suffer with hair loss? Both with an ostomy and
you can't do that.
With IBD. What do you mean?
I think, see, I have got hair, but I just refuse to have the toilet seat thing. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather it completely shaved off. Then I look like a baby then. With a beard, obviously.
What was it I saw on Facebook the other day? You know the men that are prematurely going bald and they've only got the bits around the side and the back. They've actually made like this stick-on wig now that professionals glue on that lasts like 4 to 5 months you to stick on the middle so they don't have to shave
Oh,
off
that's terrible.
the other bits.
Mm-hmm.
I really do watch some random stuff.
I lose hair 10 to a dozen. We have to, every single time we hoover, we have to cut my hair out of the spindly bit on the hoover. We find my hair everywhere. This is why my hair is 99% of the time tied up. My hair is down at the moment because I've washed it, so I can't have it clipped up because it'll take forever to dry. But I find my hair everywhere. And Jacob's 1 now, so it should be dropping out less. Because when you're pregnant, it's supposed to hold, you're not supposed to lose your hair as much, which I think is bollocks. If you have IBD, your hair's going to still fall out, because it did with me. It just didn't seem to stop. I'm surprised I'm not bald, if I'm honest. And I know Natalie suffered with hair loss, and I don't know whether it's due to her medications or due to the IBD, but she posted about suffering hair loss and how that really badly affected her.
I can tell you how much hair I lose. See this hairbrush? Still that hair? I emptied that out yesterday. I have to pick my hair out of the plug hole probably every 3 days. in the bathroom. Yeah, but that is how much hair I lose. It is, I think it is IBD as a whole, regardless of the meds. The meds don't help, especially the steroids, but you do lose your hair.
I think you'd have to do a poll with that one, because it's difficult to prove that one, isn't it?
What, with IBD?
Yeah, would you be losing hair anyway, even if you didn't have?
Yeah, but there's a suitable amount of hair to lose, and then there's just
You're supposed to lose 80 strands of hair a day.
Yeah,
80.
I think
naturally.
I think that's a bit more than 80, don't you? Oh dear. Oh,
I lose chunks in the bathroom.
Graham says he even loses his chest hair.
You know what? It's
mad, because I don't know. Can you see that?
Bald.
Yeah, I can see.
I've literally just ran my finger through my hair.
Looks like copper wire, that does, from here.
Well, it isn't. It's my hair, and I'm not even kidding. I just lose it.
It's mad, because although I was losing hair from, I don't know, from probably about 25, 26, started losing it, going thinner back, probably about 28. The one thing that gentlemen don't lose hair from is the ears and the nose. So if they could somehow transplant that onto their head, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, because what man wants ear hair and nose hair?
Exactly.
Right, Graham's abusing me now, so I'm just about to abuse him back.
What are we doing next week?
Carers Week. Next week is
Carers Week.
I believe Graham is on next week. That's about all I know for the itinerary of what we're going through so far. And that's what I gleaned from Rachel. But no, next week is Carers Week, and towards the back end of the month, as long as Rachel is fit enough, we will be covering more so the urostomy side of things, as well as,
which will be really interesting.
We normally do, as it's more interesting. We'll each get a personal lesson, which would be great, because I don't think we know enough as a whole, do we? To be fair,
no.
So it'd be interesting to see it from the other side of the fence. So
absolutely,
that's great. So
it's the lesser known cousin.
It's the middle child of the stoma world, as Rachel likes to call it.
The middle child, I love that.
Yeah, the forgotten stoma.
It's like my middle brother has got a massive chip on his shoulder.
I can just list you Rachelisms. I talk to her that often.
Yeah,
I could literally write a blog post as Rachel.
I bet you could. Yeah.
I think
I could probably do it, but I'd have to get you to check it, Steph.
Well, like I do anyway.
I think, as Rachel says, I think there is a lot more urostomies out there than realised, and I think it does need to be highlighted. It does need to be highlighted a bit more, because there are a lot of people with urostomies that aren't as open as people that have, say, like us, an ileostomy. So it will be great to see.
That's it. It's only a matter of time
Absolutely.
before we get them on board. But Rachel's doing a sterling job, as you know, that because she advocates like amazing, you know, with your ostomy side of things.
No, she is brilliant. She is epic. Let's just put it that way.
Right, I'm going to go and have to pick up my boy from the rep because he's had a practice. I'm going to be there by 9:30.
We're all going to say good night and say thank you ever so much for watching, people. We will be back next Thursday, 8 o'clock. Hopefully, Nat will be with us because we don't know what's happened to Nat. We haven't heard from Nat, so
she could have fallen asleep because
yeah,
she's not. She has
great.
been pretty tired.
Yeah. So we'll say night. Thank you ever so much for watching, and we'll see you again next week. And Rachel, we love you.
Yeah.
And buy some bears. Buy some bears.
I want a penguin. Right, we say